The millionaire was rejected on the blind date at Christmas, but what the waitress did won his heart. Before we dive into this story, comment below and tell us which city you're watching from. And once the story ends, don't forget to rate it from 0 to 10. Enjoy this amazing tale, only on Behind the Door. Let's get started. The snow fell gently on Christmas Eve as Marcus Bennett adjusted his tie in the reflection of LaBelle's restaurant window. At 42, he had built an empire in tech, but his personal life remained empty. Tonight was supposed to change that. His sister had insisted on setting him up with her friend Sarah, promising she was perfect for him. Marcus walked into the upscale restaurant, its interior glowing with golden lights and festive decorations. He spotted Sarah immediately at a corner table, her designer dress and diamond earrings catching the light. He approached with a warm smile, extending his hand. Their evening began pleasantly enough. Marcus tried to keep the conversation genuine, asking about Sarah's interests and her work at an art gallery. But he noticed something shifting in her demeanor. She kept glancing at his simple watch, his modest rental car keys on the table, his understated clothing. What Sarah didn't know was that Marcus had learned long ago to dress down on first dates. Too many women had been interested in his bank account rather than his character. Tonight, he appeared to be just another middle-class professional. As dinner progressed, Sarah's responses became shorter, her eyes wandering around the restaurant. When Marcus mentioned he worked in technology, she perked up briefly, asking which company. When he vaguely mentioned it was a small startup, her interest visibly deflated. The turning point came when Marcus suggested they could take a walk after dinner to see the Christmas lights downtown. Sarah checked her phone and suddenly remembered an early morning commitment. Her excuses were transparent, her disinterest obvious. She barely touched her dessert before gathering her things. "Marcus, I'm sorry, but I don't think this is going to work out," Sarah said, not quite meeting his eyes. "We're just looking for different things in life. You seem like a nice person, but I need someone more established, more ambitious. I hope you understand." She left before Marcus could respond, leaving him sitting alone at the table as other couples laughed and celebrated around him. The rejection stung, not because he cared deeply for Sarah, but because it reminded him how superficial connections had become. As Marcus sat processing what had happened, a waitress approached his table. Her name tag read Emma. She had kind eyes and a gentle smile that seemed genuinely sympathetic. "I'm so sorry, sir. I couldn't help but notice. Can I get you anything else? Perhaps some coffee?" Emma asked softly. "Coffee would be nice, thank you," Marcus replied, appreciating her kindness. Emma returned with a fresh pot of coffee and, noticing the restaurant was quieter now, lingered for a moment. "I hope you don't mind me saying this, but anyone who leaves on Christmas Eve like that is missing out. The holidays should be about connection, not judgment." Marcus looked up at her, surprised by her boldness and warmth. "Thank you. That's kind of you to say." Over the next 20 minutes, as Emma moved between tables, she kept returning to check on Marcus. They began talking about Christmas traditions, family, and life in the city. Emma shared that she was working double shifts to save money for nursing school. Her passion for helping others shone through every word. Unlike Sarah, Emma asked Marcus about his dreams, his challenges, what made him laugh. She didn't care about his watch or his car. She saw him as a person, not a prospect. As the restaurant prepared to close, Marcus made a decision. "Emma, I know this might seem forward, but would you like to join me for a walk? Just to see the Christmas lights. I promise I'm not some creepy stranger." Your manager can vouch that I've been sitting here all evening behaving myself." Emma laughed, a genuine, joyful sound that made Marcus smile for the first time that night. "I get off in 15 minutes. "I'd love to." They walked through the snowy streets, the city transformed into a winter wonderland. Emma pointed out her favorite decorations, sharing childhood memories of Christmas with her grandmother. Marcus found himself opening up about his own past, his struggles before success, his fear of never finding real connection. At a small park, they stopped to watch children ice skating. Emma shivered slightly, and without thinking, Marcus offered his coat. She initially refused, but he insisted. "You know what I love about Christmas," Emma said, watching the skaters. "It reminds us that the best gifts aren't things. They're moments like this. Connection, kindness, actually seeing another person." Marcus felt something shift in his chest. This woman, who had so little compared to what he could offer materially, understood wealth in a way Sarah never would. As midnight approached, Marcus walked Emma to her bus stop. Before she left, he did something impulsive. He wrote his real phone number on a piece of paper along with his full name, hoping she might look him up and discover the truth about who he was. "Emma, tonight you gave me something more valuable than you know. You saw me, the real me, not what I could do for you or what I represented. Just me. Would you consider having dinner with me tomorrow? A real date, not me sitting alone while you work." Emma smiled, tucking the paper into her pocket. "I'd love that, Marcus. Merry Christmas." She boarded her bus, waving as it pulled away. The next morning, Marcus received a text. It was Emma. She had Googled his name and discovered everything. The tech empire, the Forbes lists, the philanthropy. Her message was simple. "I still see you, Marcus. Just you. Coffee at 2. They met that afternoon, and Emma explained that while she was surprised by his wealth, it didn't change how she felt. She had liked the man who sat alone in a restaurant, vulnerable and genuine. She had appreciated his kindness, his willingness to listen, his authentic interest in her life. Marcus knew he had found something rare. Not someone impressed by what he had built, but someone who valued who he was building himself to be. 6 months later, Marcus funded Emma's entire nursing school education, not as a boyfriend trying to impress her, but as a partner investing in her dreams the way she had invested her time and heart in knowing him. Sarah had rejected Marcus on that Christmas Eve, looking for someone more established. She never knew she had been sitting across from one of the city's wealthiest entrepreneurs. But Emma, the waitress who saw past appearances and bank accounts, won his heart by offering something money couldn't buy: genuine human connection. Sometimes the greatest gifts come wrapped in the simplest packages. And sometimes, being rejected by the wrong person leads you directly to the right one. What did you think of this heartwarming Christmas story? Rate it from 0 to 10 in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Behind the Door for more amazing tales that remind us what truly matters in life.